what is the best way to actually start losing weight? Hey guys, what is going on? It is your transformation coach, Tyson Brown here. And today's question I'm answering is, what is the best way to actually start about losing weight? Like, how do you go about it? And it's a really good question because a lot of people don't know. They know they need to, but where do you actually start? So today I want to give you some really practical tips you can do immediately to start helping you lose weight. Now, the first most important thing we need to focus on when it comes to losing weight is tracking your measurements, okay? So what you measure gets managed, okay? If you don't measure yourself, if you don't know where you're starting from, how do you know you're losing weight or not? And so that's why measuring your body is so important. So doing body measurements and weighing yourself on the scale are two key components. Now, people say you shouldn't be weighing yourself on the scale. Yes, you should. If you're not weighing yourself on the scale, how do you know? Yes, you can use clothes, yes, you can use belt size and things like that, but the scale is a very, that you can actually look at that and you can see, okay, is the scale actually going down? If it's not going down, then you're most likely not losing weight. Yes, at the start you can lose a little bit of body fat and gain some lean muscle, but over time you need to see that scale go down in order to lose body fat. And also, doing body measurements are essential because then you're able to see where you're losing body fat from. Are you losing fat around your arms? Are you losing fat around your legs? Are you losing fat around that stubborn tummy? Everywhere you can actually use and see this stuff. So the first thing to do before you even get started, just go buy yourself a set of scales, buy yourself some measuring tape, body measuring tape, which is very easy, and take your measurements. Take your stomach, take your hips, take your legs, take your arms, take your chest, take your shoulders, take everything you want to measure so you can actually track and make sure you're making progress. That's the first thing. Second thing you want to focus on is making sure that you start with the easiest things first. So what is the easiest thing for you? Is it walking on a treadmill or doing a cross trainer? Or is it going to do some weights? Or is it going to walk outside? Or whatever it is, start with the easiest things first. There's no point in trying to completely go balls to the wall and try and train 4 days a week and then try and do running and high intensity training and all these other things and chuck it in, because that is not a sustainable thing for a lot of people, okay? You're not going to be able to sustain that for long periods of time, and then you're going to go back to how you were. So just choose one thing, first of all, that's going to be the easiest thing for you to achieve that you can do for 2 weeks straight. So one thing with nutrition and one thing for exercise is going to be the best thing. So let's say for exercise, right? It's walking. If you're like, you know what, I'm not going to be able to make it to the gym for the next couple of weeks, or I haven't joined up a gym yet, just start by going for a 30-minute walk in the morning on an empty stomach. One of the best things you guys can do, just to kind of get it started. If you can do a bodyweight routine at home, if you can get out of bed and say, for the first 5 minutes, I'm going to do a 5-minute bodyweight circuit, boom, done and dusted. Make sure it's as easy as possible. Then when it comes to nutrition is really, really important too, so you need to choose one thing you can focus on nutrition. And like I said, make sure it's the easiest thing. Is it drinking one less drink? Is it going from two sugars in your coffee to 1 sugar in your coffee? Is it going from doing, eating 5, 6, just terrible meals to eating 5 bad meals instead of 6 meals? Is it stopping having dessert? Is it instead of having 2 scoops of ice cream for dinner, for dessert you have 1 scoop of ice cream? Make it easy and achievable for 2 weeks before you go on to something else. There's no point, like I said, cutting out all the food, getting rid of the ice cream, getting rid of everything you should be getting rid of, but if you do it all at once, who's going to want to live a life like that? I did that when I was younger. I completely cut everything out and I followed the bodybuilding diet and I was freaking miserable, and I don't want you to be the same way. So cutting out all the bad stuff all at once is not a good idea. Start with the easiest things first and start it for 2 weeks. One thing for fitness and one thing for nutrition. You should make sure when you're managing is what you're putting into your mouth, okay? Tracking whatever you drink, whatever you eat with a food diary, okay? You can do this a couple of different ways. You can do an app on your phone. You can use, it's MyFitnessPal, which is what I recommend to a lot of my clients. You can use a physical paper, write it all down. You need to be tracking what you're putting in your mouth, okay? Like I talked about before, making one small change for your nutrition, one small change for your fitness. You also need to, and like I said, measuring, you can't manage what you can't measure. You need to measure about what you're eating. You need to know how much food you eat in a day, what type of food you eat in a day, when are you eating it. Like, oh, I didn't realize that I had 4 pieces of birthday cake today on Wednesday when it was a stressful day. But if you have it written down, it's all there and it's all managed. So making sure you are tracking your food, not forever, but being aware of how much food you're putting into your body and when. Are you eating more food when you're with friends and family, or are you eating more food on the weekend when you're going out, or when you're hungover? Making sure you're understanding when you're eating the most amount of food is going to help you become more aware of what you're eating and how much you're eating and where are the changes you can make. So making sure you're keeping track of everything you eat and drink. Drinking is important too. People don't think about that what they drink is going to affect them. It absolutely affects you. So first of all, measuring yourself, and then tracking your food with an app. And now also making sure you're starting with the easiest things first. You also need to be aware that things are going to get uncomfortable, okay? You are going to have to get outside of your comfort zone and do things you aren't willing to do. You're going to have to do things like I do, like high intensity interval training on the bike. You're going to have to be able to push yourself that little bit further. And when you start to get more and more uncomfortable and you build yourself up over time, that is when you're going to see better results. And it's not about getting uncomfortable and completely smashing yourself every time you're in the gym. It's just making small changes every single day. Just going outside of your comfort zone every single day a little bit more. So like I said, instead of having 2 or 3 sugars in your coffee, cutting it down, that's uncomfortable. Instead of just riding on the bike nice and slow like this, you crank it up and you go as fast as possible and you push it hard. That is getting uncomfortable, and all of those things, doing that type of stuff all the time is what's going to help you get the most bang for your buck, and they're going to be the most important things. So start with the measurements. Get yourself a set of scales, get yourself some body tape, measure yourself. Second thing is to pick the easiest things first to work on for 2 weeks first of all. So what's one thing in your diet and what's one thing with your exercise you can work on. The third thing is making sure you track every single thing you put in your mouth, because you can train as hard as you want in the gym, but if you're eating too many calories, you are not going to lose weight. So making sure, keeping it in a diary, using MyFitnessPal on app, or making sure you're writing it all down to see what's going on. And then the last thing is that you've got to get uncomfortable. You've got to be willing to go outside of your comfort zone every single day, and you want to build upon that. Small changes over time is what's going to help you lose weight, and it's what's going to help you keep it off for the long run. Follow those tips and I promise you, you are going to lose weight. And I want to do one thing to help you guys out. I have got 5 Busy Man breakfasts that are all designed to help you have a nice, healthy breakfast that's going to keep you full for long periods of time, and it takes under 5 minutes. It's really simple recipes, they're completely free, and all you have to do is click on the link below right now and you're going to get those free recipes. They all take under 5 minutes and they taste amazing. So click the link below right now and enjoy the breakfast. Talk to you guys next time.